WFSB, this is an Eyewitness News Update.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this Wednesday morning. I'm Roger Susanin. We'll get a look at some of your top stories in just a moment. But first, let's check in with meteorologist Scot Haney for a check of the conditions outside. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Roger. 1.5 to 2 inches of snow fell overnight, and that's creating some slick traveling conditions. This morning, although it is getting better, we just want to remind you that there is 1.5 to 2 inches of snow on the ground, and secondary and tertiary roads are going to prove to be a little bit sloppy this morning. Speaking of sloppy, here's a look at First Alert Live radar. A couple of splotches, a little bit of freezing drizzle, maybe some freezing rain in parts of northeast Connecticut, around Bradley, and then down through New Haven. We have plain old rain. That's the green there that you are seeing. That's because the temperature is 37 degrees. 37 degrees this morning in New Haven. That is remarkable. That is above the normal high, and it's only going to get milder. Winter weather advisory continues through the morning. I will let you know when this expires, but for right now, it's still in effect for everybody with the exception of the shoreline. Hello, Whistle and Dixie. Absolutely. Futurecast, tomorrow's weather today, shows us an hour-by-hour depiction of drying conditions. But don't be fooled, because by the evening commute, the rain is back with us. Look at that wall of water that's headed in our direction. This is through 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's raining. Any snow that we got out there is going to get washed away. This is 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. This is 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then we get a little bit of a break, and then more rain rolls in Thursday night into Friday morning. And here comes that batch of rain, so not too particularly great. Let's take a look at some improving conditions. There's a pedestrian walking very safely with their flashlight. Good idea. And you can see there's no umbrellas needed there, as there is no rain falling in the Mystic area, and no rain falling in the New Haven area as well. You can see a pedestrian there crossing the street, and they don't have an umbrella either. The roads are damp, but again, 38 degrees now in New Haven. All right, so there are the numbers: 37 in Bridgeport, 38 in New Haven, 34 in Chester. And then the numbers are starting to rise. Even at Brainerd right now, 34 degrees, 33 at Bradley. So we're getting just above that freezing mark, and that makes all the difference. Temperature differential from yesterday, we're basically flat. The winds are calm. There's not a lot of wind chill out there this morning, so a little bit of a light mix right now. Then we're going to get a little bit of a lull, and then rain late this afternoon through tonight. And it's going to be a moderate to heavy rain tonight. So it's a bit of a messy start, unsettled but trending milder through Friday. It's going to be an unsettled time period, folks. And then we're talking about the potential for a weekend coastal storm Sunday, starting off as rain, changing over to snow Sunday night and into Monday morning. So Monday morning's commute could be a little bit messy. Let's track it for you with the model comparison, okay? This is Sunday at noon. A little bit of mixing taking place. Then the European has mainly snow at 8 p.m. Sunday, as does the GFS. And then watch what happens. The system is gone on the European model by 7 a.m., but still hangs around with some light snow Monday morning at 7 a.m. We'll keep you posted on that. We have several days to fine-tune that forecast. In the meantime, today, temperatures in the mid to upper 30s, low 40s, rain later this afternoon through tonight. Tomorrow morning, showers, and then a little bit of a lull, then more rain Thursday night into Friday morning. Saturday looks pretty good. Sunday and Monday, we're talking about that potential for a coastal storm. We'll certainly keep you posted as the days wear on. Roger, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Scott. This active weather is keeping you on your toes. Former President Donald Trump is continuing to rack up delegate wins in the Republican presidential primary. He won last night's New Hampshire Republican primary over former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, which makes him the first Republican in modern times to win both the Iowa caucus and the New Hampshire primary as a non-incumbent. Although Haley did congratulate Trump on his win, she says at this point she is still not ready to drop out of the race.
New Hampshire is first in the nation. It is not the last in the nation.
Haley says now she is looking towards other early voting states, including her home state of South Carolina, where voters will head to the polls next month. And Bridgeport Mayor Joe Ganim is also celebrating this morning after he declared victory in the do-over of the city's Democratic primary. Now, this marks the third time that he and challenger John Gomes faced off in this year's mayoral campaign. And while Ganim, along with the Associated Press, say the incumbent won, Gomes isn't ready to give up yet.
There are things that are questionable, but at the end of the day, we have to look at the numbers in full, and then we have to look at our supporters and what they want for me to do and continue to do, and what's best for Bridgeport.
And we should mention there is still a general election scheduled for next month in Bridgeport unless all other candidates from all other parties drop out. Gomes, by the way, says he is not ruling out running on a different party line in the general election, but he's not yet ready to make that call. The jury in the Michelle Trones trial had to look over some very graphic evidence tied to the disappearance of Jennifer Farber-Dulos. Prosecutors displayed a long list of items, including zip ties, a broken mop handle, and even clothing, including a shirt and bra that were covered in what appears to be blood. Police found that evidence in garbage cans in Hartford, where investigators say Fotis Dulos and Michelle Trones were caught on surveillance cameras dumping trash bags. Prosecutors say Fotis killed his wife and that Trones helped cover it up.
We can go through each and every one of these items. The emphasis is that nothing that was in those bags will be shown to have had anything to do with Michelle Trones or that she knew what was in any of those bags.
Now, witnesses for the prosecution will continue to testify later today. And of course, you can watch the trial live starting at 10 a.m. on WFSB Plus and our website, WFSB.com. And we turn now to some major breaking news. A Russian military transport plane carrying 65 Ukrainian prisoners of war crashed this morning in Russia's Belgorod region, which is right near the Ukrainian border. We now know that everybody on board that plane, sadly, has died. The cause of that crash is still under investigation right now. And a corrections officer is expected in court later today after he was charged in connection to a deadly road rage incident. The man you see there on your screen, William Lucky Jr., turned himself into state police following a warrant being issued for his arrest. An eyewitness says that Lucky and 49-year-old Scott Cracky were cutting each other off in traffic while driving along 691 in Meriden. Now, at some point, both men pulled over and started fighting, according to that eyewitness. And Lucky allegedly shot and killed Cracky. He is now being held on a $2.5 million bond. And police in Willimantic say they busted an organized crime ring that led to nearly a dozen arrests. It was all part of a year-long investigation into racketeering, gang activity, drug trafficking, and violence in the city. Now you can see on your screen, this was the scene yesterday as detectives had roads blocked off during a raid near Spring and Pearl Streets. More arrests are expected to follow soon, so stay tuned. And we have a very important consumer alert to tell you about this morning. The Florentine cookies that were sold at Stu Leonard stores have now been recalled after somebody who ate them died. We're told those cookies contain peanuts that are not listed on the label. They were sold in both Newington and Danbury with a Best By date of January 5th. The victim, we're told, was from New York, but apparently ate the cookies when they were here in Connecticut. The products, as we mentioned, have been pulled off of store shelves, but if you have them, you should throw them out immediately. Thank you so much for tuning into Eyewitness News on this Wednesday morning. Remember, you can always get news and weather updates anytime on the Channel 3 app. Have a great Wednesday, everybody. We'll see you soon.